Gianluigi Donnarumma's future at Paris Saint-Germain appears to be entering its final chapter after the Italian goalkeeper was left out of the squad for the club's upcoming midweek Super Cup clash against Tottenham Hotspur. His omission from the travelling party has been widely interpreted as a definitive signal from the PSG hierarchy that his days at the Parc des Princes are numbered. Transfer specialist Fabrizio Romano has stated with certainty that the 26-year-old will 100% leave the French capital, whether that be during the current summer transfer window or upon the expiry of his contract in June 2026. While that technically leaves room for him to remain in Paris for 2 more seasons, few around the club believe such an outcome is realistic after the recent breakdown in contract renewal talks. Negotiations between Donnarumma's camp and PSG officials had been ongoing for several months but ultimately collapsed due to significant differences in salary expectations and contract length. The club, wary of committing to a long-term deal on the player's terms, decided to act decisively by moving for a direct replacement. Earlier this summer, they secured the signing of Lucas Chevalier from Lille, a 22-year-old regarded as one of the brightest young goalkeeping talents in Ligue 1. Chevalier's arrival was seen by many as the clearest sign yet that PSG were preparing for life without their current number 1. For Manchester United, this sudden and very public shift in Donnarumma's situation could be a golden opportunity. The Red Devils have been sporadically linked with the Italy captain ever since murmurs of his dissatisfaction in Paris began circulating earlier in the year. While signing a goalkeeper was never viewed as the club's primary objective for this window, that honor belonged to securing a new striker, it has always remained a possibility if the right profile became available at the right price. United's recruitment team have been keeping tabs on the market for months, and Donnarumma's availability for a reported £26 million presents what could be considered a low-risk, high-reward proposition. Such a fee is modest by modern standards, especially for a player with his pedigree, and would represent a significant saving compared to the £47 million the club invested in Andre Onana just last summer. Onana's first 2 seasons at Old Trafford have been turbulent, marked by flashes of brilliance overshadowed by high-profile errors and inconsistency in form. Manager Ruben Amorim, who is heading into his first full campaign at the helm, is said to be an admirer of Donnarumma's commanding presence, shot-stopping ability, and big-game temperament. According to reports in both England and France, Amorim has privately urged the board to consider the Italian as a serious option for the number 1 jersey. Donnarumma's track record is difficult to ignore. Bursting onto the scene as a teenager with AC Milan, he quickly earned a reputation as one of the most promising goalkeepers in the world. His decision to leave the Rossoneri for PSG in 2021 was met with controversy in Italy, but he immediately justified the move by winning the European Championship that same summer, delivering heroic performances in the knockout stages and being named player of the tournament. Since arriving in Paris, he has added a host of domestic honors to his CV, but last season was arguably his most successful yet. Donnarumma played a pivotal role in helping PSG secure their first-ever UEFA Champions League title, keeping crucial clean sheets in the latter rounds, and also became part of history as the club completed a continental treble, the first ever by a French side. His performances, particularly under intense pressure, have further enhanced his standing as one of the elite keepers in world football. Despite this, his time in Paris has not been without controversy. The arrival of Keylor Navas in his first season led to a contentious rotation policy under Mauricio Pochettino, and while Donnarumma eventually cemented himself as the undisputed starter, tensions between his camp and the club have simmered in the background. The latest contract impasse appears to have brought those issues to a head, with PSG opting for a younger, potentially more financially sustainable option in Chevalier. From Donnarumma's perspective, the Premier League, and in particular Manchester United, holds significant appeal. Old Trafford offers the chance to play in one of the most competitive leagues in the world, in front of a global audience, and for a club with a rich history of legendary goalkeepers, from Peter Schmeichel to Edwin van der Sar and David De Gea. Sources close to the player claim he is tempted by the challenge, as well as by the prospect of working under Amorim, whose reputation for building competitive, attacking sides has grown steadily over recent years. While no formal offer has yet been made, United's ability to act swiftly in the market has already been proven this summer. The club wrapped up the signing of Benjamin Sesko in rapid fashion last week, outpacing several European rivals to secure the Slovenian striker's signature. That deal is seen internally as proof that, when the right player becomes available, the club is capable of moving decisively, and Donnarumma's situation could well demand such urgency. The coming weeks will determine whether United are prepared to test PSG's resolve now, rather than waiting until next summer or even 2026. For a player of Donnarumma's caliber and age, opportunities like this are rare. If the price tag remains in the reported £26 million range, the temptation to strike could prove irresistible for a club looking to strengthen in key areas ahead of a pivotal campaign. For PSG, meanwhile, the decision to leave Donnarumma out of such a high-profile fixture as the Super Cup sends a clear message: their future lies elsewhere. Whether his departure happens imminently or in a year's time, the writing on the wall is unmistakable. What's certain is that the football world will be watching closely, and if Donnarumma does make the move to Old Trafford, it could signal one of the most intriguing goalkeeper shakeups in recent Premier League history. Manchester United have set their sights on Brighton and Hove Albion's dynamic midfielder Carlos Baleba, with manager Ruben Amorim reportedly pushing for the club to finalize a deal as soon as possible. According to a report from Caught Offside, the 21-year-old has been identified as a priority target this summer, underlining how highly he is rated by the United hierarchy. Baleba's rise has been nothing short of remarkable. Born in Douala, Cameroon, in 2004, he joined Brighton in September 2023 from French side Lille for a reported £25 million, arriving as a relatively unknown prospect to many Premier League fans. In the short time since, he has established himself as one of the most promising young midfielders in England's top flight, combining raw physical power with impressive technical skill. His performances have been key to Brighton's competitiveness both in domestic and European competitions, despite the club's squad undergoing constant evolution under Roberto De Zerbi. The Seagulls are reportedly open to selling the midfielder, but only for the right price, believed to be in the €60 to €70 million range. Such a valuation reflects both Baleba's current influence on the pitch and his vast potential for growth. Brighton have a strong track record of extracting top value for their star players, as seen with the sales of Moises Caicedo to Chelsea and Alexis Mac Allister to Liverpool, and they are under no pressure to let the Cameroonian leave for anything less than their asking price. For Manchester United, the interest in Baleba stems from a clear need to strengthen central midfield. While the club has invested heavily in recent seasons, most notably in Casemiro and Mason Mount, there remains a gap for a young, athletic, all-action midfielder capable of dictating play, winning duels, and driving the ball forward. United's midfield has often lacked control in high-pressure matches, particularly against sides that press aggressively, and Baleba's ability to operate as both a defensive shield and a progressive ball carrier could help address that weakness. Reports suggest that Amorim sees Baleba as the perfect fit for his tactical approach. The Portuguese manager values midfielders who can cover large areas of the pitch, break opposition lines with both passing and dribbling, and contribute defensively without compromising on attacking ambition. Baleba ticks all these boxes. His exceptional ball-carrying ability allows him to glide past markers in central areas, while his strength and balance make him difficult to dispossess. Beyond his physical attributes, the youngster's mentality has also drawn praise. In his debut Premier League season, Baleba has shown maturity beyond his years, regularly taking responsibility for recycling possession, setting the tempo, and making himself available under pressure. Such qualities could prove invaluable at Old Trafford, where the scrutiny and demands are far greater than at Brighton. Of course, Manchester United are not the only club monitoring the Cameroonian. Several other European sides are believed to be tracking his progress, and Brighton's willingness to negotiate will depend heavily on the level of competition in the market. If United want to secure his services, they may need to act decisively, much as they did when sealing the signing of Benjamin Sesko earlier this summer. The financial aspect of the deal will be a significant factor. While €60 to €70 million is a substantial investment, United's decision-makers may feel that it represents good value for a player of Baleba's profile, especially given his age and potential resale value. In the current market, where elite young midfielders are in short supply, the Cameroonian could be seen as a long-term solution for the club. For Baleba himself, the prospect of joining a global giant like Manchester United would undoubtedly be enticing. The chance to compete in front of 75,000 fans at Old Trafford, alongside some of the biggest names in football, could be the next step in his rapid ascent. Working under a manager like Amorim, known for his ability to develop young talent and instill tactical discipline, could help accelerate his development and transform him into one of the Premier League's most complete midfielders. His current trajectory suggests that he is far from the finished article but already operating at a level that would allow him to contribute immediately in the Premier League's upper echelons. With further coaching, experience in big games, and the guidance of seasoned teammates, Baleba could evolve into a world-class performer over the next few seasons. United's pursuit of the Brighton star also reflects a broader shift in transfer strategy. In recent years, the club has faced criticism for prioritizing marquee signings over intelligent, long-term recruitment. Bringing in a player like Baleba would align with a more forward-thinking approach, targeting young, high-potential footballers who can be molded into the core of the squad for years to come. The coming weeks will be decisive. Brighton will not allow negotiations to drag on indefinitely, and with rival clubs circling, Manchester United must decide whether they are willing to meet the Seagulls' demands. If they do, Baleba could well become one of the most exciting acquisitions of their summer window, a player who not only addresses immediate needs in midfield but also embodies the club's ambitions for the future.